If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast without any minimum amount of listeners. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download your free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. We all come in different shapes and sizes, but what if your particular size is unhealthy for you? We talked to one person today that had to do just that. They had to get healthy. Now let's listen to that interview on this episode of The Real Girlfriends Across America.
Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Tawanda with Real Girlfriends Across America, and this is our nightly call. And I'm super excited to be here tonight, as I was just having a conversation before the call started with Destiny, and she was saying, "Oh, I miss you ladies. We haven't had a call in a couple of days." And it is so ironic because normally we were doing this call 7 days a week, and it becomes a habit. So to only do it 5 days now is definitely a big difference. So, Destiny, you were missed as well. So we'll get started tonight. You're welcome. And I'm super excited about this interview. I've had to contact this young lady several times. She's so busy. She's busier than Miss Obama. But we finally got her. And I want to welcome you to the call this evening, Miss Amanda Cain. Amanda, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty incredible. Okay. We're going to get started in just a second, and I also want to go out to Miss Corinne and say hello, see how you're doing tonight as well.
Corinne, I am well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you to everyone. And as we get started, I just want to say to everyone, how was your 4th of July? Did you have a particular highlight that you'd like to share? Anyone?
So my husband, he actually, this is Destiny. He, that's actually him texting me right now. Anyway, he held the little firecracker tube thing so I could actually light off my own fireworks.
Oh, that was pretty exciting. How was it?
Oh, it was fun. I never got to do anything like that before, so it was, for me, it was a big thing since I can't actually see where they're going and stuff.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you got to do that. Awesome. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. I didn't either. How about you, Amanda?
I didn't really do much. I just kind of laid around all day. I guess if I had a highlight, which shows how lame my day was going to the grocery store.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. This is a very important topic to me because a lot of people are not open to talking about different challenges that they have in their life and how they work on becoming better. And some people become ashamed for some types of reasons and so on and so forth. So I met Amanda a few months ago, and she shared some things with me, and I said, hey, this is definitely something that I would definitely like to talk to you on and about so we can share with others so people can be encouraged. Amanda, as we get started, tell us a little about who you are in reference to where you're from, what you do, et cetera. Just a little bit about yourself, please.
Sure. So my name is Amanda Cain. I live in a small city called Wheat Ridge, which is a suburb of Denver, Colorado. In my professional life, I work in the mental health field as a peer specialist. Other than that, I have a 16-year-old daughter. I'm married. Love turtles, stuff like that.
Are you from the little small area near Denver? Is that like home originally for you?
I pretty much always lived in the Denver area, but kind of like different suburbs of Denver.
Okay. All right. Now, you shared some information with me about a life-changing surgery that you actually had. But what I want you to share now is tell us a little about where you were in life and what was going on with you before you actually had this life-changing surgery.
Sure. So, in October 6, 2019, I had gastric bypass surgery. And so what the catalyst kind of behind deciding to do the surgery is, at the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019, I was so sick from having such out of control blood pressure that I just laid around because we were afraid that I was going to have a stroke. And I struggled with my weight my entire adult life. And I knew that, like, probably starting another diet, like, I'm really great at losing weight, but I'm even better at putting it back on and then, like, 20 to 50 more pounds. And so I knew I had to do something, but I knew what I was doing so far wasn't working. So, yeah, I decided to give weight loss surgery a shot.
Thank you for that. So let me ask you a question. So actually, before you decided to have this surgery, what other things had you tried since you said you struggled with your weight throughout your adult life? You had high blood pressure. So were you on the medication for the high blood pressure? And had you ever tried any other diet or anything? Like what specific things have you actually tried?
Yeah, so by the time of my surgery, I was actually on 3 different blood pressure medications. Prior to surgery, I had tried just exercise only. I tried clean eating. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried Weight Watchers and clean eating a few times. And then working out with a personal trainer.
Okay, so none of that worked and gave you the results you were looking for?
Like I said, I was really great at losing weight, but then I would get into, like, where I would mess up, and then I'd be like, oh, guess I can't do that. So then I would gain it all back, and then I would add, like, 20 to 50 more pounds on top of the regain.
Okay, gotcha. And in reference to gastric bypass, I know that everyone has probably heard of it before. And for those that may have no idea what we're talking about, gastric bypass surgery is a surgery that refers to a surgical process in which the stomach is divided into smaller upper pouch and much larger lower remnant pouch, and then the small intestines is rearranged to connect both. And this is a major life surgery. And I've known of several dozen people that's had the surgery, and unfortunately, 2 or 3 that actually did not make it out of the surgery. So let me ask you this, Amanda. when you decided you were going to have this surgery, was it suggested to you, or did you decide that you wanted to do this?
So right before my blood pressure, or probably right when my blood pressure started going out of control, I was sitting in a hot springs with a couple of my girlfriends, and one of them talked about going to a consultation for a weight loss surgery surgeon, and so once I came home and got really sick from my blood pressure, then I just remembered that conversation, and I was like, hey, that's what I'm going to do. And then I reached out to somebody that I knew that was successful with gastric bypass and got a ton of information from her. And then I went to my doctor, and I made the decision really fast, but it's because I knew that to have insurance pay for it, that I had to jump through hoops for 6 months. So I knew that I had time to, absorb information and prepare.
Okay. Now, in reference to having this surgery done, I'm told that they go through processes like what happens if you don't make sure you have your will and everything done. Did you have to go through that? What was that process like?
No, I just signed basically saying, if anything happens, I can't sue them, but they didn't tell me anything about a will or anything.
Okay. I guess everybody's process is a little different. So basically, if you don't mind sharing, what weight and or size were you before you had the surgery?
My highest weight, which was probably last June-ish, was 286, and I was a size 22. And then in shirts, I was a 2 or 3X, depending on the maker.
Okay. And after your surgery?
So far, I'm 148 and size 10 and size medium shirts.
Okay. Wow. So tell us a little about the transformation from being almost 300 pounds to now being less than half of that. When you struggle with weight your whole adult life, what is it like now to be half of that size?
It's an interesting experience. A lot of people that have weight loss surgery struggle with body dysmorphia, which is where they look in the mirror and they still see the 300-pound person, or, they see the bigger person still, even though they're not that anymore. I can see it sometimes, but I have a lot of loose skin in my stomach, so I still feel kind of big because of that loose skin.
Okay.
But it's I went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago and was so excited about having a tail on my seatbelt. It's just these small wins that are oh my gosh, yay, and they're not things that most normal people would think about, but when you're almost 300 pounds and then you're half of that, there's a lot of small non-scale victories.
Okay. Now, what's next for you, Amanda? Now that you've had the surgery.
Sorry, you're kind of far away, so I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I said, what's next for you now that you've had this surgery? What are some of your health goals now?
I definitely would love to get down to 140. I definitely need to stop being one with my couch during COVID times. Eventually, I'm thinking maybe next fall, I would like to maybe get the skin removed. Other than that, I was going to do a bunch of 5Ks and 15Ks and stuff like that this year. And because of COVID, now I'm doing them next year.
Gotcha. Now, when you had the surgery, were you married at that time?
Yeah.
So how has things been? Has there been any changes in reference to your relationship and marriage